coming for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear, punch it. Great job, you did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good morning and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday morning US IndyCar League action. It's the Queen City 175 presented by StickQuik here from Charlotte Motor Speedway, race number 10 in season number 5 for the US IndyCar League here on iRacing.com. We've got about 5 minutes remaining in happy hour before we get things set to go. Green flag racing here today at this very fast 1.45 mile quad oval, and this is absolutely one of my favorite tracks. Used to live about 15 minutes away from the speedway in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Great racing facility, as well as that new Roval portion down there. That is something you have got to see. Something else to see here this morning before we get things set to go. Qualifying is your point standings. Ryan Bowles in his 25 machine on top of the point standings, just in front of the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Robert Mitchell right there as well, 31 points back after last week's penalties handed down. Finishing order from Gateway was jumbled around a little bit, and Robert Mitchell walking away with the race win, giving him a chance at the championship, coming down to only about 3 here in season number 5. So Robert Mitchell gonna have to be on his A game today, as well as Graham Bunyan, Ryan Bowles. Those 3 drivers looking to scrap it out to the end. And well, can anybody keep Graham Bunyan from repeating as season champion? We'll wait and see as these races unfold. Looking out over the track, looks like we huge number of drivers actually out there turning some laps. So I tell you what, we'll jump on out there now and watch a few of these driver laps around this track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Going to be taking a look right now at the 24 of Rick Kelball as he goes down the backstretch heading towards turns 3 and 4. As long as you got turn 3, who cares about the next one, right? Kelball crossing, going any faster than his fastest lap so far here in happy hour. His fastest lap has been a 23:41 And that has only been good enough for 5th. Craig Forsyth in his 131, sitting on top of the leaderboard with 591. Robert Mitchell right there in 2nd. Graham Bunyan 3rd. David Zaleski in 4th. See who else we can see out there, see what else is going on. There you see a few drivers just in front. I believe that may be the 71 of Stephen Harden right there on screen, making a few more laps. Welcome back to the track once again, Stephen. Want to give a shout out to a few other drivers as well. Daniel Kendall, first time seeing Daniel on track this season. Welcome back. Glad to see you back on track. Danny J not on track. Mike West out there. Rick Lovison, Chad Pierce. A lot of drivers that have been almost missing in action seem to be re-emerging here late. And I see what you see there. So let me see if I can do anything to fix that. Everything looks fine from my side, but you know how that goes. So we'll pull some things up, take care of some things real quick while we've got an opportunity. And all of that seems to be okay. So let's try this another way. As happy hour coming to a close, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll be back with all your qualifying action. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And back at the track once again. Did see a little bit of frame rate drop going on, but everything seems to be okay now. Everything seems to be where it should be. A little bit of frame rate drop once again. So having a little bit of problems here this morning, but they should iron themselves on out as we head into the race. Let's tell you what, let's see if we can't do a few things. Try some other things here real quick, like this happy hour has come to a close. We will get things set to go qualifying. There you see green flag is out on qualifying, and it looks like we've got a few drivers jumping out on track now. David Zaleski out on track, so we'll jump down there with David as he makes his way track. Zaleski down the back stretch for his first timed lap. We'll watch, see how everybody shakes out, where they end up. Gonna drop down your qualifying order over there to the left-hand side of the screen for you. We'll jump on board now with Zaleski on his second timed lap, sitting on top of the provisional pole as of right now. Still have a lot of drivers left to go qualifying, though. Looks like Will Stearns on track, Daniel Kendall on track, Robert Mitchell, Howard Livingston beginning his laps. So we'll jump back here now on board with that 13, running in the 9th position on his second qualifying lap, coming down into turn 3, wide open. Howard gonna cross the line. Where will he shake out? From 11th all the way to 2nd. Great jump. Now we'll jump on board with a man trying to come up and take the points lead back away from Ryan Bowles. That's the 101 of Graham Bunyan. And sometimes, Sapphire, things just, they take a minute to work themselves in, you know. Kind of like oil temperature. You want to get it nice and warmed up and ready to go. You know, computer and everything just needed to warm up a little bit. Bunyan back into 3 and 4, coming to the stripe to begin or lay down his first timed lap. Crossing the line that time by only good enough for 14th. He's about 0.6 of a second off of your provisional pole sitter, Robert Mitchell, in the 31, sitting on the pole as of right now. Only Danny J, Jeff Murray, and Graham Bunyan yet to put their laps in. Crossing the line this time by Bunyan. Where will he go? All the way to the top of the board. Lights out. Qualifying action there by Graham, and he's going to bring his car to a slow, and that looks like that will end qualifying. All the drivers have put in the laps that they're going to lay down. So a heck of a job by Bunyan to get out there and steal the pole position away. And, well, with all that being done and said and out the way, we're going to head down trackside for the singing of the national anthem. Please join me as we salute our great nation's anthem here from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers beginning to hit the starting grid for today's Queen City 175, presented by StickQuik here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And well, let's go ahead and run down today's starting grid for you inside row number 1. Walking away with the pole position today, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. Robert Mitchell close second with a 23.944. Gonna start just to his outside. Row number 2, the 25 of Ryan Bowles, followed by the 13 of Howard Livingston. Row number 3 here today, the 004 of Jason Lowe and the 07 of David Zaleski. Row number 4, the 306 of Will Stearns and the 64 of Rick Lovison. Row number 5, the 24 of Rick Kelball and the 71 of Stephen Harding. Row number 6, the 53 of Daniel Kendall and the 10 of Mike West. Starting row number 7 here today for the Queen City 175, presented by StickQuik, the 131 of Craig Forsyth and the 19 of Chad Pierce. Row number 8, the 6 of Jeff Murray and the 15 of Danny J. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your starting order for today's race. Graham Bunyan gonna lead the field to the green flag yet again, and we will get set to go racing for race number 6 in season 5 for the US IndyCar League here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Pace cars gonna duck off, and we'll get set to go one more time. Green is out and Bunyan well and away from the field. Great jump on the start by Bunyan. He gets away clear from the field. Battle is for second place. 3-car battle for second right now has Ryan Bowles, Robert Mitchell, Howard Livingston all gathered up with each other. See a few stragglers back through the rear of the field. Chad Pierce a little bit behind the 8 ball, almost a second off pace already, but now comes Ryan Bowles to the outside of Bunyan. Through the middle of 1 and 2, and we're side by side on lap number 2. Ryan Bowles on the outside has Robert Mitchell and Howard Livingston in tow. Graham Bunyan still utilizing that inside lane down there, hugging that blue and white line here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Back across the line, lap number 2 in the books for Bunyan, but Bowles fighting hard on the outside. Caution has come out, and oh my goodness, Daniel Kendall with some issues. We're going to have to take a look back at that real quick with our Turn 3 replay here. Let's see if we can't find that. And here we are. Looks like Kendall, everything's going all right right there. Up and into the wall. Tried to make a move to come out from behind Rick Kelball and had some issues and into the wall. That's going to spell trouble for him very, very early. Back up at the front of the field, your race leaders begin to catch the pace car. Graham Bunyan now side by side with that Ford Mustang, wowing it up as we're under caution for the first time here today from Charlotte Motor Speedway on lap number 4 out of 117. Long way to go for a lot of drivers, and unfortunately going to be a very long return to the scene for the 53 of Daniel Kendall. Not looking like we have any takers coming to pit road, so we should get this thing fired back off pretty quickly. Strike that. Craig Forsyth, as well as the 10 of Mike West, Both of those drivers electing go to pit road, get some fresh tires, top it off with fuel, possibly go a little bit further before they will need to make their green flag pit stops. Field making its way around this 1.5 mile quad oval, being led by the Ford Mustang. Pace car lights gonna go out this time by, and we'll get the one to go to fire things back off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Once again, good morning, welcome, thanks for joining us here at Turn 3 Racing Network. I am Dave, up in the booth, bringing you all the calls from the action on track, being brought to you by the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And, well, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right, get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. A lot of great different formats, series, and leagues can be found all throughout the week here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Pace car lights have gone out. Field will get ready to go back green flag racing this time by when we hit the line. Lap number 7 out of the 117 scheduled here today. 170 miles around this racetrack, and some may have a shorter trip than others. It looks like Daniel Kendall and his crew unable to fix the damage sustained after contact with the outside wall on the front stretch, and that's going to end his day. So that's going to leave us with 14 drivers on track, all 14 on the lead lap. All 14 single file following the leader. The 101 of Grand Bunyan will have the restart in hand when the pace car ducks off, and we'll get this thing fired off one more time. Back under green, and Bunyan is down and away. Robert Mitchell now under threat from the 004 of Jason Lowe, hanging tough right now. Great job by Jason so far, hanging on to Robert Mitchell, who's got a hold of Ryan Bowles. Bowles trying to get back up there and chase down Grand Bunyan for the race lead. And here we go. We've got a challenge for it off of 4. Back across the line that time. Give it to, I believe they're going to give that one to Ryan Bowles with another lap stolen right there at the start-finish line. Side by side, 2 deep. Up at the front for the race lead. Grand Bunyan digging on the bottom, has Robert Mitchell in tow. Ryan Bowles up at the top. Howard Livingston right there. Jason Lowe as well. A little bit of a gap back to the rest of the guys, but Stephen Harden also back there trying to make his way up through the field. David Zaleski running in 7th right there on the gearbox of Will Stearns. I don't understand that one. Still battling for the race lead. Ryan Bowles now has given that position to Robert Mitchell. Put Mitchell to second, now battling for the lead with Bunyan on the bottom. Mitchell at the top. Graham Bunyan still leading the race down on the bottom lane. That's going to be using up his tires a little bit more than some of the other cars out there right now. Ryan Bowles still in tow, running in that dirty air. Aero push can be a very, very big thing here at a track that you're going this fast. Big move to the outside now by Mitchell. And I tell you what, while we've got a chance, why don't we just go ahead and do it? Go ahead and throw it to you one time with some crank it up. And it really does not like that right now for some reason. So we'll just go ahead and go away from that, act like that never happened. That really was not wanting to cooperate. So we'll keep things going the way that we can anyway. No worries, no problems. Field beginning to get single file once again at the front. Robert Mitchell tucking in just behind your race leader Graham Bunyan as they work their way back through the quad oval to the line. Bunyan gonna put that lap in the books for himself. And looks like the YouTube side of things is struggling right now. Twitch, Facebook seem to be okay. So any of the viewers out there on the YouTube side, if you want to go on, check us out on Twitch or Facebook, that might be the best option at this point in time. Graham Bunyan, however, still leading this trio of drivers. Robert Mitchell now looking to the outside, trying to make the pass on the outside the long way around. Can he get it done? And I tell you what, we're going to take a look now. Driver in the third position, Ryan Bowles. Let's go back with his onboard here, just behind Robert Mitchell. Bowles and his crew allowing us to put our gyro cam on his 25 machine here today for the Queen City 175 presented by StickQuik, so do appreciate him. Oh, and you can see the banking and just how close these drivers get you here. Bowles way out of the gas that time to keep it down and off of Robert Mitchell, who's going to lose the position now to Bowles as he tries to go up and chase down Graham Bunyan, who is beginning to gap the field just a little bit. Battle back through the field now between Stephen Harden, Will Stearns, Craig Forsyth. Those drivers are battling, so we'll jump back here with them. Oh, we got a driver up on the wall. Stephen Harden. My goodness, what happened to Stephen? No caution as we stay under green. We're going to look at this anyway real quick. My goodness, what happened here? Tough break there for Stephen Harden. Watching that all go down, but we will rejoin your race leader, Graham Bunyan, up here at the front, getting the job done, still maintaining a 0.3 of a second race lead. For some reason, the YouTube side of things doesn't look like it's wanting to cooperate very much right now. So down there in the comments, if you're out there watching in YouTube land, you can find a link to take you to another side that seems to be doing rather well right now. So, yeah, we'll just keep rolling with it. Graham Bunyan still at the front of the field. Now the battle between Jeff Murray and Craig Forsyth beginning to heat up. There you see him just off in the distance. That blue and white and then black and yellow cars as Graham Bunyan, we are watching your race leader slowly build that gap. Small gaps beginning to develop throughout the field. You are watching your closest battles. That is Ryan Bowles, Robert Mitchell, and Graham Bunyan, first, second, and third. Field still under green flag conditions as we work our way back to the start-finish line to start lap 27 out of 117 here scheduled today for the Queen City 175, presented to you by StickQuik.com, organizers and fasteners. If you haven't already, go over to StickQuik.com. Check out all their products, all their great organizers and fasteners. And I promise you, before you leave, you're gonna have some in your cart. And I think this may have to do with some of the camera, the blur right now. I think the focus may be out of whack. We'll be getting with some of the guys to take care of those issues. However, we'll just keep on keeping on like we always do. Once again, thank you for joining us here today on Turn 3 Racing Network. I'm David Worrell, up in the booth, bringing you all the great action from the track as Graham Bunyan has now scooted away from the field a little over a half a second. We are watching the 25 of Ryan Bowles trying to maintain his second position over Robert Mitchell. Mitchell way up the track that time by. Big wiggle, big move there. And another big move by Robert Mitchell, ducking to the bottom this time. He's going to take the spot. Robert Mitchell taking the position away. Big move through the quad oval and around he goes. Let's take a look back from the gearbox of Robert Mitchell in his 31 StickQuik machine. And he is driven away from Ryan Bowles. Bowles now looks to be in danger, and that is a shot from behind the wall. Gotta love it when the cameras get blown over. That means there's a lot of speed and a lot of air going around this track right now. Cameras getting knocked over behind the wall. Graham Bunyan is knocking this race out the park right now. He is 1.3 seconds ahead of your second place runner, Robert Mitchell, right there on screen in his orange and black StickQuik Dallara IR18, making his way around this very fast-paced 1.5 mile quad-shaped oval here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Battle brewing now for third and fourth. Ryan Bowles is sliding through the field after challenging your race leader lap after lap, and there we go underneath the track. That is very interesting. Ryan Bowles battled with your race leader, Graham Bunyan, lap after lap at the beginning of the run. Now finds himself sliding through the field all the way back to fourth, almost 3 seconds behind Graham Bunyan at this point. Jason Lowe with another good run. Can he put that naked clown up on top of the podium positions here today? Still a long race to go. We've still got 81 laps left here in the Queen City 175, presented to you by StickQuik.com, organizers and fasteners. And I tell you what, these US IndyCar League drivers, they are putting on one heck of a show just behind these guys. We've got David Zaleski, Howard Livingston, Jeff Murray. They've got a 3-car battle going for 6th, 7th, and 8th. So positions still up for grabs late into this green flag run. Looking to the outside is Murray on Zaleski. Will he get the job done? Not going to have enough momentum built up getting to turn number 1 and down off of 2. Down the backstretch with a big run looking inside. Murray's going to take the spot through 3 and 4. As it looks like Zaleski's going to hit pit road. Zaleski on pit road. And remember, we did have a few drivers hit pit road under that caution. Craig Forsyth, running in the 7th position, has a few more laps in his tank than the rest of the field, as well as the 10 of Mike Westward continuing to watch Jeff Murray as he makes a charge up through the field. Now on the gearbox of Howard Livingston, trying to make the pass on Livingston, and we'll jump on board now with Murray. Oh, and just look how close those tires were right there. You can hear Murray having to feather in and out of the throttle. Murray was making a charge up through the field, hit the dirty air right here behind Howard Livingston, and has kind of fizzled out just a little bit. Ryan Bowles has scooted away from these two drivers by about a half a second. Nothing has changed up at the front. Graham Bunyan still leading the race, 1.5 seconds now in front of your second place runner, Robert Mitchell. We'll go ahead and throw down your running order for you over here on the right, left-hand side. My right, left, my left, right, you know. I don't know. Looking to the inside of Livingston is Murray through 3 and 4, back into the quad oval. These drivers, even though they're battling, they are slowly bringing that gap back to Ryan Bowles to them. And now Jeff Murray digging hard on the bottom. Can he make the pass? Coming at it too. Looks like he's just clear enough. But are we going to see a crossover by Livingston as Craig Forsyth has closed in on these two drivers? Ryan Bowles going to hit pit road this time by. We'll have to wait and see what the pit delta is live under race conditions here. And it looks like Rick Lovison also on pit road. So drivers' fuel windows beginning to open up, and a few of them electing to go ahead and come down pit road. Your race leader, Graham Bunyan, still out up front, has almost a 2-second lead now over your second place runner, Robert Mitchell. And things looking a little bit better over there on the YouTube side of things. Keeping my eye on it, things looking a little bit better. Jeff Murray gonna, whoa, big moment into pit road there. Oh, And Murray, that is more than likely going to be a penalty. He was well above pit road speed. As you seen him lock it up and sideways there. Ooh, that is going to be tough. Robert Mitchell now hitting pit road. Your race leader, Graham Bunyan, already coming down and hitting pit road. That's going to put Craig Forsyth, driver who came to pit road earlier under that last caution, that's going to put Craig up into that coveted first position. Mike West not able to make up a ton of time, still finds himself 13 seconds back from your race leader. Now Forsyth gonna hit pit road this time. What will Mike West do, as he has got a lot of drivers right on his gearbox? There you see Ryan Bowles unlapping himself as West gonna stay out on track. He will assume the race lead. Graham Bunyan, Robert Mitchell waiting for them to cycle through. As we watch the 10 of Mike West try to put Howard Livingston a lap down again, even after Livingston has made his pit stops. But we should see those fresh tires begin to prevail here in the next lap or two, as Craig Forsyth coming off a pit road, maintaining his position on the lead lap. We are 51 laps into this thing, and Mike West now pulling off and heading to pit road. That's going to put the race lead back in the hands of this man at the front, Graham Bunyan. Now putting Rick Kelball one lap down Mike West on pit road. He's going to lose the top spot. And now Bunyan can set his sights on putting the 64 of Rick Lovison down a lap. Then he will focus in on trying to put the 131 of Craig Forsyth a lap down. Bunyan with a great pit stop, 31.4 seconds on pit lane. That is almost the fastest pit stop. I mean, almost, but he beat Robert Mitchell by almost a second on and off pit road. That's going to extend that gap. There you see it, almost 6 seconds now for your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Battle on track is for 5th and 6th position, but right here, Howard Livingston has 5th. Craig Forsyth wants it. While we've got an opportunity, a little bit of a lull in the action, we will go ahead and do some house cleaning. 16 drivers showed up to the track, and we have still got 12 out there running on track. Will Stern slotted in 13th. 14th will go to Stephen Harden. 15th will go to the 53 of Daniel Kendall. In 16th will go to that 15 of Danny J. As the field continues to put the laps down, we have got 7 cars left on the lead lap. 8th place runner, the 24 of Rick Kelball, is being scored as the first car 1 lap down. We are watching the battle between Rick Lovison, Craig Forsyth, and Howard Livingston. That is 5th, 6th, and 7th on track. Now looking to the outside of Livingston is Forsyth. Does he have enough to build the momentum through the quad over and maintain the spot, working their way off of turn number 2? not able to get the job done. Maintaining the position, running that inside preferred line is the 13 of Howard Livingston. Looking up at the front, Robert Mitchell has been able to gain almost 2 seconds on your race leader, Graham Bunyan. So Graham may be doing a little bit of fuel conservation, trying to ensure he only has to stop one more time. I believe that's all anybody's going to have to stop, but maybe trying to stretch this thing on out a little further after our second green flag cycle. Another battle for third position. This is David Zaleski right there. Ooh, big time moment. Big moment back there as Howard Livingston gonna lose a lot of ground now to David Zaleski. And that battle back here, this three-way battle, is just not going anywhere just yet. As I say that, looks like Rick Lovison and his 64 machine falling back just a little bit through the field, now giving about a second and a half gap between these two drivers battling for position. As we'll jump on board now with the 131 of Craig Forsyth as he tries to run down the likes of the 13 of Howard Livingston and take that fifth spot away. Great shot just over the driver's head as he continues his way around the track, trying to run down the 13 of Howard Livingston and take that final spot in the top 5 away. Forsyth has been trying all he can, just not able to get the job done just yet. Meanwhile, up at the front, your race leader, clear sailing for him. He has got himself a 4-second lead over the second place runner, the 31 of Robert Mitchell, who's got almost a 5-second lead over your third place runner, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. So your top three spread out almost 10 seconds between first and third. And David Zaleski slowly starting to close back in now on Ryan Bowles. Only about a half a second off, so we'll watch this battle unfold for third. Still watching the battle for third place as David Zaleski tries to come up and take it away from the 25 of Ryan Bowles. There you see just in front of them the 10 of Mike West. He is being scored one lap down in the 9th position. His teammate Graham Bunyan still running up at the front. And what do you know? There we go. There's a shot under the track again. Gotta love it. We're about halfway through this stretch of green flag run, and the pit window is going to open up here in the next, I would say, about 5 laps. These drivers will be able to hit pit road and make it to the end of today's Queen City 175, presented by StickQuik, here on Turn 3 Racing Network, live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is the US IndyCar League. Oh, and on to pit road late is David Zaleski. He's going to bring that Oreos Dallara IR18 down for service with 45 laps to go. That means his pit window has opened. Let's jump up, see what Graham Bunyan does. He continues to stay out on the track. That's going to leave us with now only 6 cars left on the lead lap. Bunyan continuing to stay out on track. He has now got a 4.7 second race lead over the 31 of Robert Mitchell, sitting in second. Third place, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Howard Livingston now running in fourth, and Craig Forsyth is in fifth. Rick Levison running in sixth in his 64 machine. Last car on the lead lap and now being scored. The first car 1 lap down will be the 24 of Rick Kelball. And I am not sure if that is the strategy that David Zaleski wanted to employ here, because he now finds himself battling for the first car 2 laps down, battling now with the 004 of Jason Lowe to be the first car 2 laps down. Jason Lowe yet to hit pit road for his final service. Zaleski should not have to come back down pit road, as we've got 41 laps remaining. And I'm not sure about this strategy by Zaleski. But that's why I'm in the booth and not on top of the box. I don't get paid to make them big boy decisions. So, yeah, Graham Bunyan continuing to lead the race. Nobody behind, nobody in front. He's got a good gap in front of him, good gap behind him. Nothing to worry about for Graham Bunyan at this point in time. So we'll check on a few other drivers. Tell you what, let's jump out there with Craig Forsyth as he continues to try to make his way through the field, running in the 5th position, trying to chase down Howard Livingston. Still has not been able to get that job done. Race leader Graham Bunyan crosses the line that time by to begin lap 81 out of 117 scheduled here today from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Queen City 175, presented to you by StickQuik, live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. And it looks like Ryan Bowles has hit pit road for his final time of today's race. Where will he shake out, being scored 1 lap down as of right now? But your race leaders still have to hit pit road at least 1 more time. Remember, there was about a 10-second difference in between Graham Bunyan and Ryan Bowles before Ryan hit pit road. We'll keep our eye on that and see how it all shakes out at the end of this green flag cycle of pit stops, as Craig Forsyth loses a little bit of ground on Livingston that time by, but still trying to chip away at the gap, not having a ton of success. Great run off of 4 that time. That's going to close the gap tremendously as they enter turn 1. Livingston going to be in a little bit of dirty air off of the 10 of Mike West, who is running in 7th position, the second car, I should say, 1 lap down. Keeping our eye on Ryan Bowles, and it looks like he's maintaining being just 1 lap down, not falling that 2nd lap down after his green flag pit cycle. All your race leaders still on track. We're staying with the closest battle on track, and that is for 3rd and 4th position. The 13 of Howard Livingston in 3rd, Craig Forsyth 4th. The 004 of Jason Lowe rejoining the racing surface, now being scored 3 laps down after his 2nd and final pit stop of the day. Now Howard Livingston hitting pit road that time by. That's going to give the position to Craig Forsyth, now up into 3rd, running just on the gearbox of Mike West, who is yet to hit pit road for his final time. Now Forsyth gonna bring it on down pit road. We'll take a look back here at Robert Mitchell as he has got heavy back markers, heavy lap traffic in front of him. Rick Kelball, as well as a handful of other drivers just in front of him, and Mitchell gonna hit pit road this time by. Graham Bunyan, still your race leader, still out on track, working his way down the back stretch. Will Bunyan pit this time by? We'll have to wait and see. Looks like he's keeping it wound up. He's going to stay out for at least 1 more lap here. Gap between himself and Robert Mitchell was right about the 4.5 seconds, so we'll wait and see how it all shakes out when Bunyan hits pit road and rejoins the racing surface. There you seen him putting the entire field now a lap down. Bunyan electing to stay out on track a little bit longer here, 2 extra laps than Robert Mitchell. Will this be the right call, or will he give up a little too much time to Mitchell? Coming to pit road this time by is the 10 of Mike West, as well one of Graham Bunyan. And oh my, did Bunyan have an issue there on pit road? Looked like a little bit of a lockup late there coming to pit road. That could have possibly been a mistake by Bunyan late in the race. After dominating the race, could that be the field needed to get Bunyan out of the way, as he has led 85 laps out there today? Looking through timing and scoring, not going to walk away with the fastest lap of the race. That is being held by the 131 of Craig Forsyth with a 23.6. Robert Mitchell crossing the line that time by, not able to leapfrog Graham Bunyan with the short pit. The undercut did not work out, and if anything, it looks like Graham Bunyan may have increased his race lead, as he was on pit road for a very short time, 30.2 seconds. 1.1 seconds faster on and off pit road than your second place runner, the man on screen right now, the 31 of Robert Mitchell. So Graham Bunyan extending his race lead under the green flag pit cycle. And my, with all that said and done, it looks like we have now got 7 cars left on the lead lap as we rejoin your race leader, Graham Bunyan, up at the front, in Rick Levinson, Howard Livingston, all in danger of being put a lap down here late in the Queen City 175, presented to you by StickQuik here on iRacing.com. Graham Bunyan knocking it out the park here today, has led 89, now make it 90 laps. Here today from Charlotte Motor Speedway, and if there's a way to take the points lead back, this is it. Leading the most laps, pole position, race win. I mean, the only thing he's missing right now would be that fastest time. I'm not sure he's going to go after that or be able to capture that one, but I'd much rather have the race win. Meanwhile, back battle for second and third on track between Robert Mitchell and Ryan Bowles. That battle beginning to brew as we have only got 20 laps left to go here in the Queen City 175, presented by StickQuik. Ryan Bowles now within a half a second of Robert Mitchell. Could we see these final podium positions change hands late here in the coming laps? We will have to wait and see how many more laps can these drivers go before things get settled down and settled out. Ryan Bowles with about 8 laps older tires than Mitchell, so Mitchell should be able to drive away here relatively soon, with the cycle on the tires being that much different. And just as I say that, Robert Mitchell doubles the gap, now up to 8 tenths. Going to jump back up and rejoin your race leader, Graham Bunyan, as he continues to click off the laps. 95 in the books, 96 when he crosses the line this time by. That battle we were watching has since went away. Robert Mitchell now stepping out to a 1.5 second lead over Ryan Bowles. That was for second and third position on track. Graham Bunyan, your race leader, slowly closing in on some back markers, some lap traffic. The 64 of Rick Lovison hovering just on the lead lap still, as well as Howard Livingston just up in front of him. So a handful of drivers that may find themselves scrapping to stay on the lead lap as we get closer and closer to the end of today's race here for the US IndyCar League Season 5, race number 10. It's the Queen City 175, presented by StickQuik.com. Organizers and fasteners, if you haven't already, head on over to StickQuik.com. Check them out. They've got a lot of cool stuff for a lot of you gearheads and wrench turners out there. A lot of great ways to organize some of your stuff in your own garages and, well, in your kitchens too. Graham Bunyan continuing to pound the pavement out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll have only 10 laps left to go when Bunyan crosses the line this time by. There you see him focused and poised, ready to bring this thing on home. 10 laps remain as he has got a 7.8 second lead over Robert Mitchell. Ryan Bowles running in third. And I tell you what, we'll go ahead and throw down the running order as they are right now. And Bunyan, as I have said, has just clicked these laps off just one after the other, relentlessly just on top of the field. Back across the line that time by to begin lap 110 out of 117 scheduled for today's race. 8 laps remaining for your race leader, Graham Bunyan, as he continues to try to put a few more cars a lap down. Tell you what, we're going to go join a battle on track for position right up here. That's David Zaleski, Howard Livingston right there battling for the 5th and 6th position. Rick Kelball in the 24 is the third car pictured on screen, but Kelball being scored the first car 1 lap down. Now looking to the outside of Zaleski is Livingston, and he's got the run into turn number 3. Car down on the apron. Looks like that is Chad Pierce. His day has went from bad to worse. Chad already being scored 11 laps down, and he's going to hit pit road, and his day is going to come to an end. Howard Livingston able to make the pass on David Zaleski down the back stretch into turn 3 once again. Now these two beginning to step away from that 24 Rick Kelball, who was right there trying to battle a little bit with somebody as he finds himself a little behind the 8 ball, now being scored the second car 1 lap down as your race leader Graham Bunyan has just put the 64 of Rick Lovison down 1 lap, and Bunyan continuing to click off the laps up at the front of the field. There you see him right there coming by the line that time by, heading off into turn number 1. 3 laps remaining, and we have got 6 cars left on the lead lap here from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Queen City 175, presented to you today by Stick.com. Live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, thank you for coming and joining us each and every Sunday morning for some great US IndyCar League action here on Turn Racing Network. Crossing the line that time by, 1 to go, presented by StickQuik. That's all she wrote here today for the field as Graham Bunyan heads down into turn 3 and 4 for the final time of the race. Everything looks fine, everything looks smooth, and that is a man that is feeling good inside the race car, crossing the line, bringing home the race win after a dominating performance, leading 111 laps out of the 117 scheduled here today from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Your race winner, Graham Bunyan, put on one heck of a show. My goodness. As we get things set for our post-race interviews and Graham enjoys a little bit of his celebrations, we're going to take a brief moment, step away from the track. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with all your post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We will be right back. And welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here as we get set for our post-race interviews here. Looks like our top three have hit the start-finish line. Graham Bunyan leaving a cloud of smoke for these drivers to have to deal with while we get our post-race interviews underway. So, let's see if we can't get in a quick word with our third place finisher here today, the driver of the 25, Ryan Bowles. You got your ears on, bud?
I do, Jed. How you doing?
Pretty good, my man. Pretty good. How was the race?
Pretty boring, actually. Just running around in circles for 117 laps. By myself, for the most part. Some lap traffic, but no, it's a good race.
It looked like there for that final pit stop, looked like you hit pit road a little bit before anybody else looking for the undercut. Didn't seem like it really worked out. Was that a bit of a surprise that coming to pit road at least 5 laps before anybody else didn't yield as much of a gain as it normally would?
I don't know. I gained, 5 seconds? I got up right behind Robert, but it just... I wasn't good behind people, so that's where, I fell back the 5 seconds. I lost what I gained, so it really didn't matter.
10-4. Now, next week, we head off into Auto Club for the final Triple Crown race, and then we've got the double points race at the end of the season What's your thoughts for these final races left in this season?
I just have to do as well as I can. I would love to win. I've been in first all season, but Graham's a strong driver, and Robert's coming up, and it's going to be tough to keep the lead. So I just have to do well. I can't screw up a race.
All right. Well, I mean, you're doing yourself some justice by walking away with a podium finish here today, coming away with third. So congratulations once again on that, Ryan. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife for letting me do this, and I want to thank StickQuik for sponsoring the league. They do a great job. So do you. Thanks.
All right, there you have it. That was your third place finisher for today's Queen City 175 presented by StickQuik, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Now we will jump over with our second place finisher right there, man on screen, Robert Mitchell, driver of the 31. You got your ears on, bud?
Sure do.
How you doing, my man? You're making it a habit of talking to me up here.
Well, that's the plan. First, I'd like to thank our sponsor, StickQuik. Without them, we would not be live broadcasting. Be sure to go to stickquick.com. Yes, and yeah, man, I'm in that points hunt, so every point counts, and I'm going to race as hard as I can until the end of the season and see where I tally up. Last week, I didn't think I had a chance, but after tallying up the points, I'm right in the hunt.
That you are, my man. Only 31 points back heading into today's race. You did gain a little bit of ground over Ryan, who was the points leader coming into today. That's probably going to get shaken up as Graham took the top spot. But a heck of a race for you out there. Pretty hectic there at the start, though, huh?
Yeah, it was, but we gathered it up and went on to give a good race. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And I was just sticking right there. Them pit stops are our downfall right now. We're going to work on that and see if we can improve.
All right, my man, Robert. Well, once again, congratulations walking away with second place here today. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, thanks for everybody helping making this league what it is today. It's a great league and hope the fans enjoyed it. And thank you, StickQuik, for being our sponsor this season.
All right, there you have it. That was your second place finisher in today's race, the Queen City 175, presented by StickQuik, the 31 of Robert Mitchell, driving his StickQuik Dallara IR18 up into the podium positions. Now on to the man of the hour, your race winner, the only man that can say that he has won more than 3 times now, grabbing that 4th win. Graham Bunyan, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm sucking on some water, trying to put some hydration back into my body because I'm suffering with this goddamn flu, not the coronavirus, but yeah. Man, wow. Did I make that stick quick? Punt there.
You did, and I don't know what you were doing on your pit stops, but I think there's going to be some teams out there videotaping, trying to figure out how in the world you were getting off a pit road so fast.
I think it's all to do with the pit in. You gotta hit your marks right. Now, I thought I was pinged coming in on the last pit stop. It was pretty close, but yeah, look, gotta have that car pretty straight and in the box pretty well to get out fast.
On and off pit road fast, all day long fast, taking away the pole position. You were only 11 points back coming into today's race. Obviously, you're going to gain some points over Ryan Bowles, finishing in 3rd with your race win today. What's your thoughts heading in to the final stages in the season. With the points battle being so close between you top three, do you think you have what it takes, the momentum to keep going to secure a back-to-back championship?
I think I got it there. I just got to nail it. I just got to have those tires stuck to the road and just nail each lap as though it's a qualifying lap. It's going to be a good finish to the season. I mean, the points are really tight, so anything could happen. Yeah, it's IndyCar.
Well, man, a heck of a drive out there on track today. Wish you the best. Hope you get better soon. I just got over the flu myself. It sucks. So hope you get better. Hell of a drive being sick, my man. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, look, again, just a shout-out to everybody that turns up every week, week after week. I know I've missed a couple of races due to work commitments. I work in a hospital, so as you know, they're probably pretty frantic right now everywhere. And yeah, look, again, congrats to the podium. Myself, Robert, Ryan, great racing. StickQuik definitely made that happen today. Yeah, look, yeah, everybody take care out there. It's a crazy world right now.
Some final parting words from your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Everybody take care out there. Excuse me, because he is right. There is some craziness going on out there in the world right now. And, man, I tell you what, it was one heck of a race here today from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Not much left for us to do except bring you your finishing order for today's race, the Queen City 175, presented to you by StickQuik, and your final results look a little like this, walking away with race win number 4 here in the US IndyCar League season number 5, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, finishing out yet another podium spot, another podium finish for the very fast 31 of Robert Mitchell. Walking away in third today, your points leader coming into today's race, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Finishing in fourth today, the 131 of Craig Forsyth, followed in fifth by the 13 of Howard Livingston. Walking away sixth today, the 07 of David Zaleski, and finishing in seventh, first car one lap down, the 64 of Rick Lovison. Finishing eighth today in the Queen City 175 was the 24 of Rick Kelball, followed by the 10 of Mike West. 10th spot goes to the 004 of Jason Lowe, first car being scored 2 laps down, and finishing 11th, the 19 of Chad Pierce. 12th spot goes to the 6 of Jeff Murray, and in 13th, after trouble early, the 306 of Will Stearns. Finishing 14th today after a wall slide on the front stretch is the 71 of Stephen Hardin. 15th position goes to the 53 of Daniel Kendall after some contact early in the race, and unfortunately not able to get out on the track today was the 15 of Danny J. He will be scored in the 16th in a final finishing spot. Well, that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That's all there is. Want to thank each and every one of you for joining us each and every Sunday morning for the US IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik here on Turn 3 Racing Network. For myself, David Worrell up here in the booth, and everybody else back at Turn 3 Racing Network, we do appreciate each and every time you join us on track. Look for some great action coming up later tonight on Turn 3 Racing Network. And well, folks, until then, wash your hands. Stay 6 feet back. No, I am just kidding. Until then, really though, take care. God bless. We'll see you when we see you.
are coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it.